Good morning, everyone. Hi, guys. How are you doing today? I'm here today in the Liangshan of Sichuan province. Today, I'm here all by myself without a camera person. So please let me know if the sound is all right and if you can see me clearly, and I'll be able to communicate with you. Why am I here today? Because this trip have taken me to a poverty-stricken area. And this is actually where the Yi people, the Yi ethnic group live. And as you can see behind me, there's a small village here, and that's where the Yi people live. Before the poverty alleviation project, they actually live in the deep mountainous area. But with the policy now in place, they have been provided with new homes like you can see behind me now. Let me tilt the camera a little bit so that you can see clearly. So the villages with the blue roofs you can see are definitely very new. And these newly buildings have been given to the the family who have fallen into poverty, and they have created their new lives here. Right, so I'm actually now outside of a peppercorn factory, and this is actually what they live on, and what they can earn money for. So this is also a part of the poverty alleviation project here in the nearby area, because peppercorn trees can be grown here, and also the Sichuan peppercorn is very famous in Chinese cuisines because they have a tingling, numbing effect to the tongues and to the mouth. So without further ado, let's go inside of the peppercorn factory, and I'll tell you what I find out later. Please follow me, and let me see who are with us today. So this is outside of the peppercorn factory, and as you can tell, these blue roof buildings, the neighborhoods are already built, and the people here are actually living here. Yeah, so many of the female workers come here to work. Good morning, everyone. Kenny, how are you doing today? Jessie Horn is here as always. Addie is here. What happened to the other ladies? Well, because the national holiday is coming up, so there are a lot of projects ongoing, so they are busy with the editing in the office now. That's why I am here today all by myself. And yes, please remember to like and share this live stream if you like it. Thank you all for joining us today. All right, so let's go inside. So the green roof actually are the factory. So these buildings are quite newly built. I don't know whether you guys have eat Sichuan cuisines or not, but the numbing effect actually comes from the peppercorn. I know a lot of the cuisines, the Sichuan cuisines, are very spicy. And they taste actually a little bit more salty than the other cuisines that you might try before. But the Sichuan cuisine is very unique and distinct with their spicy and numbing taste. So here we are in front of the factory now. Hello to you all. And you can actually tell behind me are the mountains. So Sichuan has a lot of mountains, and mountains are very good for peppercorn growing. They need humidity and temperature. And here we are in front of the factory. I'm about to go inside. All right, let me flip the camera. wow, as soon as I enter this factory, I can sense a strong smell from the peppercorn. Actually, the peppercorn has a citrus smell. The family of this plant is actually more closer to the lemon side instead of the, the pepper side, the pepper family. So the taste is actually different. This is I've been told that this is the first process they are doing. Here they filter the peppercorns and to let them dry. So I think this machine will help the So as you can see, the twigs and the dust are filtered through from the machine. And with yeah, I know it's a little bit buzzing here. Sorry. And So here I am standing with the manager of this peppercorn factory, 周总。周总您好，
你好，
跟我们观众打个招呼吧。
你好。
So 周总 is actually a local here, and he is 您在这儿工作多少年了？
我这儿现在从我们公司成立一开始，我们就在这个地方。
在这儿哦。So he has been here since the establish of this factory, and he is going to show me how this factory is working and also what they have. So let's move on. Any questions you have for 周总, I can also carry out to communicate with him. And please leave us some comments. If you have any question, please let us know. 周总能简单介绍一下，就是这边他们在做什么吗？
现在就是做这个，我们这个花椒，这个初步的第一步的筛选，就对这个花椒的枝干、叶子和那个种子和果实进行一个初步的第一步分流。
So this procedure, he told me, is to filter through the dusk and the twist and other elements that are not the Sichuan peppercorn. So as you can see, the female workers, they are shoving the peppercorns they harvested from the trees, and this will help the peppercorn to filter. And as you have seen just earlier, the twigs and the dust and other things are actually filtered through from this machine, and then they will bag this and for other distribution. For example, some of the peppercorns will be sold like like in a rare, but also there are peppercorns that are sold and packaged in different other ways. And also they have like another processing procedure for the peppercorn oil and other products like the hot pots and other stuff, which we will see in a little bit. I actually want to grab some peppercorn for you guys to see and for a closer look. So let's come inside of this facility and I'll show you guys more about this. All right, so these are the products they have. 您能拿一下吗？然后我再拿一点点花椒。So I'm just getting a little bit of the peppercorns in my hand. These are the already bagged products, and these are the output of this filtering machine. which I'll give you a closer look. So these are the Sichuan peppercorn. When you cook with these peppercorn, they actually come with a numbing effect to the mouth. Well, despite its name, the Sichuan peppercorn is not closely related to either black pepper or the chili pepper. It is actually very closer to the lemon citrus family. So the husk of or the hull around the seed may be used for the ingredients in the Sichuan cuisine, and finely grounded powder from these peppercorns are also used as one of the key ingredients for the 5-spice powder in the Chinese cuisine. And related species are used in cuisines in Tibet and also in other regions in China. The peppercorns are actually not only being grown in China, they're also grown in a lot of other places as well in Southeast Asia. So yeah, this is peppercorn, Sichuan peppercorn. Also in Chinese, it's called huajiao. I think in America, you might know this as Sichuan peppercorn or like Sichuan peppercorn. It depends on how you pronounce it. Or like there are other people calling it Chinese pepper or spice pepper, and yeah, so that's that. It is widely used in the Sichuan cuisines, and Sichuan pepper's unique aroma and flavor is not hot or pungent like the black or white pepper or the chili peppers. It is slightly lemony. It has a slightly lemony overtone. So these are that. All right, so I'm going to actually have a bite of the Sichuan peppercorn so that I can tell you how it tastes. I can tell from the smell here actually, because this is very lemony taste, lemony refreshed flavor I can smell from the air because we're in the factory here. So I'm going to have just maybe one or two. I don't want to have a handful and make my mouth numb, and yeah, it's actually dry, very dry, and flavor kick in maybe 2 to 3 seconds after you chew it. It's not pungent, but it gives out a very numbing effect. All right, let me spit it out now because it's getting too numb in my mouth. All right, so right here I'm going to tell you guys more about, the flavor stays. Whew. It's actually quite numb. I can feel my tongue now. Can't really feel my tongue. See, I've only chewed down 2 of the peppercorns. Whew. Wow. When I'm feeling numb in my mouth, I'm going to tell you more about why this is numbing. Because the Sichuan peppercorn contains a substance called the so this is called the hydroxy alpha central, which I read from the Wikipedia. So this is hydroxy alpha central. So this element is actually a molecule found in the plants of the Sichuan peppercorn. It is believed that it is responsible for the numbing effects and the tingling sensation. well, I can't still feel my tongue because of the strong numbing effect. But I think it's coming, like toning down a little bit now. And also I can tell you that for a lot of the Sichuan cuisines, they use a lot of the peppers, the red chili peppers. But the Sichuan pepper here actually help to cope with the firing taste of the hot chili pepper, because this gives out a numbing effect. So if you combine these two together, you have 麻辣, which means the numbing and the chili pepper taste. All right, so I guess I've already showed you how they filter this here, and the taste is also very strong here. And they also have other facilities to make the other products here. So, all right, let's move on. 周总，咱们一起走。I'm inviting the factory manager to come with me so that he can show you more about this factory he's having. I want to ask, how do they use the peppercorn here to process to make the hot pot sauce? So I'm going to let him to show you this part of the factory. 所以这是做火间是吗？做火锅底料的。These two machines are used to make the hot pot sauce. So these cubics are actually contain maybe more than 20 ingredients. They use these machines here to stir fry this when it's hot, and they'll package these hot sauce into little packets like this so that you can have a chunk. And then boil it and make hot pot at home. So this is a home hot pot sauce. I guess for a lot of you guys in America, you can find this easily in your markets or so. These are spicy. They're made with the beef oil and along with other like herbal ingredients to take out the meaty flavor and to boost the sensation for the fruits and vegetables. And actually, I want to ask how many of the packets do they make every day or every year? 所以我想问一下，这个火锅底料咱们大概就是生产量是多少？
我们一天这一个锅的话，一个工作日它可以生产450公斤一锅。
450公斤。
对，450公斤一锅。但一天这个8个小时的话，可以炒6锅。
炒6锅。
对。
So each pot like this, because this is gigantic, he told me that for each pot, for each batch, they can produce 450 kilograms of the hot pot sauce that they made here. Also that's just for an hour, and for the 6 working hours they have. So you do the math. It can times with 8. Not 6 hours, 8 hours of working hours here. So yeah, cool. All right. So I'm going to read out some of the comments that you guys have. Sound is good. I can see you. Thank you very much for telling me. And Sichuan pepper leaf tea. Oh, it's actually very interesting that in the Tang Dynasty, the peppercorn were used as an ingredient for Chinese tea. A little bit weird for nowadays, but I think historically, people need some like tea and herbal taste to take off after the meal, and to clear out the smell and the taste from the mouth. Hello from Lewistown, Maine, U.S. Hello, Sean. Thanks for joining us today. Please pardon the interruptions, technique issues. Sorry. So in the factory just now, I think the signal might not be very good back then, but now I think we're very good. All right. So let's check out what else they have in this factory. I think I was told that they have other products made from this factory. So I can tell you, this is the door. Usually they are closed to prevent the insects and other things from the outside. But walking up towards the hill, there are other products. What is peppercorn? I never heard of it. So the Sichuan peppercorn is actually the little seeds that you can find in your Sichuan cuisine. It is a cooking ingredient that Chinese people always use, and it's commonly used in the Sichuan cuisine. So peppercorn in Chinese is huajiao, and it's less of a pepper, more of a more related to the citrus family. So it has a citrus taste.
这是我的原材料和这个原材料拆解，原材料库房。
原材料库房。
哎，对，这都是一些包装产品，这些空瓶呐、这些纸箱啦，对，这都是原材料的这个堆放原材料的这个。
好的 ，So this is where they store the raw materials, like the packaging of the peppercorn oil. And there are other packages over there, and some of the products are already made and stored in here as well. These little packets that you see are the hot pot sauce. All right, so let's move on. I think they might have other stuff on the back, so I'm going to go a little. So here, this is peppercorn oil. Let me take out a bottle for you guys to see. So if you are too lazy to cook the Sichuan peppercorn, or if you are busy and don't feel like to burn the hot oil and put peppercorn in, and just, these peppercorn oil is another alternative solution if you want the numbing effect in your cuisine. And for a lot of the mapo doufu and kung pao chicken, and along other famous Sichuan cuisine that you might have before, this is actually an alternative way if you don't want the peppercorn when you eat it, because sometimes you need to pick it out, and this oil is actually helping with that on that front, because when you use the oil, you don't actually need that peppercorn to appear in the dish, and hence then you don't need to pick those out. So this is one of the peppercorn oil, and they also have other products here, like these are all the other ingredients they use for the hot pot sauce. So as I told you, there are more than 20 ingredients in that hot pot sauce. So might as well just store them here, and the packagings and stuff. Well, thanks for liking this live stream, James. Thank you so much. You're very helpful to us. I'll take 6 bottles, please. Thank you. Well, I think you can find similar products on Amazon and other websites if you really want to buy them. And also a lot of Asian supermarkets, you can find them. And I actually want to talk a little bit more about the peppercorn and the purchase in the U.S. because I know that I've read that like in the 50s and the 60s there was a ban. Actually, in 1968 to 2005, the United States FDA actually banned the importation of Sichuan peppercorn because they were found to be capable of carrying a citrus canker. But because the peppercorn tree is in the same family with the citrus family, so they're less of a pepper. And actually, it was bacterial disease, which is very difficult to control. So it has the potential to harm the fruit of the citrus crops in the U.S. So that's the reason why it was banned. But it never had the issue of human consumption. So for everybody who likes Sichuan peppercorn and the hot, spicy taste, it's actually all right to eat with just like it raw. You can eat it raw. It doesn't have any effect for the human consumption except the numbing taste. And but the import ban was only loosely enforced until 2002. And I actually watched another video which tells me that like for every batch of the Sichuan peppercorn imported into the U.S., it have to go through a hot procedure, like hot treatment. But actually, the hot treatment might lose the flavor of the peppercorn. That's why, like in the States, when I tasted the Sichuan cuisines over there, the numbing effect is not as strong as the ones I tried here in Sichuan province. So maybe that is one of the reasons the hot treatment might lead to the lose of the flavor. And also, the heat treatment is for 10 minutes around 70 degrees, which is 158 Fahrenheit. This might kill the canker bacteria before import, but that's definitely also caused the lose of taste. But in 2007, I think, the U.S. as the Food Administration doesn't, they no longer require to dry the fruit and to be subject to the heat treatment in order to be allowed to enter the U.S. So taking into account in that peppercorn is normally shipped and used dried. So the change actually means doesn't actually change much because the peppercorn was already dried before shipment. So yeah, that's that. Thanks for sharing, Michelle. Thank you so much for joining us today for this live stream. So before we go on to other parts of the factory, I actually want to talk a little about this area. So you can actually tell surrounding this factory are mountains, and these mountainous regions is where the Yi people live. So in the deep mountainous region, they have been living here for like very long time. And since China has its reform and opening up in the 80s and 70s and the 80s, a lot of the things have changed, a lot of the environment and the business environment and other, we've achieved so much social development. But the Yi people who live in the mountainous area, they don't actually have the access to the outside world because the deep mountainous area doesn't have good traffic connections. So that's why the local government and the central government have paid so much attention on this issue. So in the 90s and in the early 2000s, a lot of the roads and trains were built just to boost connectivity in this area. And also a lot of the men, especially the younger generation, they go out to find jobs in the coastal area and also in big cities, which lead them to have a better standard of living, and they have, in sense, enjoy a better way of living with more connectivity to the world and to big cities. A lot of people have actually changed their lifestyle. But there are also a lot of people who left behind in this region, like the female and the children and the old people who are still actually living in this area. They don't have a lot of the access to the outside world. And for a lot of the female here, they don't have the chance to work out because they have their children to take care of, and also they have their land and limited farming land to take care of, and their, aging parents to take care of. So they can't actually leave this area and just, go out and find a job outside. So they have to be here. And this factory actually helped to cope with this situation because they hire a lot of the female workers to process these peppercorns, so that a lot of the female here can find a job, which leads to a wealthier life, and also helping them to gain a higher social. So that is actually one of the things that when I see, I feel really happy about, because these will definitely help to change their life and to prove their living standard. So as I just told you in the very beginning, that the local and also the central government have been paying a lot of attention to these rural areas and the ethnic minority areas. And they have since pouring funds for the infrastructure, for the facilities here, like building up this peppercorn factory. And so I'm going to put my phone here for a little bit and to let you guys see what it's really like to live in this area. All right, let's put it here. Right, so I'm going to read out some of the research I found for the Yi people who live here, because this is an autonomous prefecture in Sichuan province. So so Liangshan cover actually 60,000 square kilometers in the southwestern part of China, and it is Liangshan is the source of the Yi culture, and it has remarkable scenery, but they also have endured the shadow of poverty that has hung over this area as a result of the harsh conditions they live in, because you can see the mountains, right? And although since the very beginning of this year, the COVID-19 outbreak introduced new difficulties to the poverty alleviation processes. The work actually continues in this region, in this area, because this is an ongoing process, and also China has a goal of alleviating everyone out of poverty by the end of 2020. So that is also one of the other reasons why these people have been working relentlessly to change the way of living for the local people and to boost their connectivity to the outside world and to boost employment. So, yeah. The job actually created by the peppercorn factory, as I told you, have helped a lot for the local women as they can find a job and they have income. And escaping poverty is actually not the end, but rather than the beginning, because Liangshan in Sichuan takes various measures to help women to shake off poverty. And in recent years, most of the young men in Liangshan have left the mountainous region to work outside, with large numbers of women left behind without work. So as an important part of the local poverty alleviation campaign work, local government have taken various measures, including developing traditional handicrafts and also providing public services, job positions to help these women to obtain a nearby job and shake off poverty. So as I told you, when the men went out to work, they have to take care of the children and the family, so they can't work far away. That is why they have now the local. That is why the local authorities are promoting these new factories near the village so that they can find a job nearby. So yeah. All right, so please let me know if you have any questions towards this, and I'll be able to talk with you. At the meantime, I think I want to show you guys more about the community area outside of here. 周经理，谢谢您啊！我出去转一圈，我想看一下旁边就是
可以的，
这些就是
这边是我们冻库，
对吧？冻库。
对，这是这个冷藏区，
冷
藏链，整个的我们厂区一块。
So the factory he just pointed out here is frozen. It's a huge refrigerating area.
也有成phẩm，有产品。
也有产品可以展示吗？
可以，它就是个熟成产品，冷冻的。
行啊，那我们看一眼吧。
可以。
Okay, so he's going to show us the refrigerated products they have here. And as I told you, this is, oh, sorry. So behind me, this is the refrigerating area. And we are about to go inside. Right.我有点怕里面信号不好，我就在外面拍一拍吧。你们把那个库房门能打开吗？谢谢您。It is actually rather beautiful on the mountainous, in this mountainous area, and definitely worth take a look. This is so amazing. So Mr. Zhou, the manager, the smell just came out. Have opened the factory door for us. This is one of their refrigerating units to store the peppercorn. 这个花椒能储存多久啊？
这个储存的时间比较长，这个是冷藏这个恒温18度恒温存储。能存1年还是几年？就是1年2年都没事。1年2年都没事。对。
So they use the refrigeration here to store the peppercorn for a year or two before they are sold. I think it's also a good way to help this factory to earn more money because the price of the peppercorn actually fluctuate in different seasons. 这是一个，那个也一样是吗？
那个是原材料。
So these bags of peppercorn are stored and preserved here. 可以看一眼吧。
这是洋葱那个原材料。
洋葱啊？
对。
哦。 So they also use they also store onions. This is a batch of onions they store. 哦，这个是为那个
洋葱
温度不太一样吧？
这温度不一样，这个是5度，那边是18度。
So this is 5 Celsius. So they use different temperature to store different fresh produce. And this is the green. No, sorry. This is the onion they store. One of the ingredients for the hot pot sauce. 好的，谢谢您。All right, so yeah, so this is the first time for me to visit the factory here. I can sense a lot of, different smell. It's like a festival for smell for me. I never eaten peppercorn raw before, and for today I've tried that. It's quite funny, and I can tell you the numbing is real. It's really strong. I didn't expect this strong because I actually before this trip, I have tried to eat the baked peppercorn, and it was not that numbing. But here, when I eat it fresh, it's really strong. I almost lost the sense of the tongue, and yeah, I think it goes very well if you like to eat the really spicy food, because the numbing will help cope with the spicy on your tongue. And yeah, all right, let me see if you guys have more comments and questions for me. I'll leave this camera over here so that I can talk to you from my phone. All right, let me see. Hi Tyler, thanks for watching. Oh, you're talking to each other. Jesse, the virus is getting bad again in Wisconsin. Oh, sorry to hear that. So here in this Liangshan Yi Autonomous Region. Oh, sorry. Because they have lesser connection to the other countries. So when most of the big cities, when they contain the coronavirus, here they don't have new cases. So you can tell that the production and the factories are actually back to work. So that is also why I'm not wearing a mask today. But if you're in the hot zone, if your surrounding areas and communities have COVID cases, please wear a mask, because it's a respiratory disease, and I think this helps to cope with the situation. There are not many machines on site of this factory. It must be local, or they keep jobs going for people. Oh, this factory actually, yeah, you're actually right. They don't have a lot of the machines here because now it is September and their harvest peak season was in August, and they have more machines in this factory last month, which we planned to came here, but with a lot of ongoing other stuff ongoing, so we have to postpone this trip. That's why they don't have a lot of the workers and machines here, because it's already post harvest season, like for a month later. So a lot of the peppercorns were already processed and bagged, and as you can see, they were took into the refrigeration unit and stored or processed into products and oils. So yeah, we're kind of late on that. And also this factory plans to expand their production in the next year, so there will be more machines and workers here. All right. What else questions have I missed? Very big cooling units. Yes, it is very big. But it's also like half empty. So I think they have already sold a batch in July and in August, June, July, August, because the beginning time for harvest were actually in June, late June or July. So July and August were their peak season. Oh, thank you. So Michelle says, speaking English is Minrui is speaking English though. English and local in Chinese. Yes, I just communicated with the manager of this facility, of this factory in Chinese. Any other local crafts shows there? The local Yi people have a famous embroidery, and they are they also have another painted pottery, painted like painting handicraft, which is also very famous. But I don't have it here in this area. I might have other chance to show you later. Carlos is watching us. Thanks for watching. Oh, sorry. I think my comments are kicking in a little bit late. Tyler Thomas, Kenny Yan, can you message me? I got to tell you something. Right. Okay, you two go ahead. Oh, Linda is talking in Spanish, I guess. Amigo. I know amigo is friend, right? So amigo. The other part, sorry, I don't actually understand, so I can't address to that. Thank you, Stan Brill. You are doing very well. This live feed yourself, Minrui. Thanks. I know it's a little bit hard than before. Is the seed inside that peppercorn safe to eat? David Dunson, thanks for your question. This is actually very professional. The seed inside of the peppercorn is edible. They are edible. But they don't actually have strong taste. Only the shell, the cover of the seed, have the strong taste. So if you have that, if you want to eat that, that's fine. That's edible, but it doesn't have any, it doesn't have much of the taste. So I guess for the main taste, they come from the shell of the peppercorn. So yeah. All right, so let me place it here again so that I can read more comments. Hi, be careful, Corona, be safe. Thanks. Thanks, Mei Kang. Jessie says, I have been wearing masks since late January. Yes, please continue to do that. And there's also a chance for the coronavirus to come back to us in this autumn and in this winter. So better be safe than sorry, right? So I will continue to wear a mask as well, like you do. Right. I think I have catch up all your messages. Be careful. Good job, works. I am in Hawaii. I enjoy your news. Thank you. Thank you, Mei Kang. Thank you very much. So, right. Let me summarize this live stream before you guys go to sleep. I know that it's already late. So here in this peppercorn factory, the first thing is that they harvest the peppercorn from the nearby villages and nearby farms, so that the local growers can have a source of income, and also they source and produce the peppercorn products over here, so that the local females and local workers can have a source of living. and they can actually work without going far away from their family, and to be just, find a job that is close to their home. So this is also something that is very happy for me to find out, showing that the local authorities are doing what they can to help to improve the living condition for a lot of the people. So they do care. And also the third thing that I feel really happy to see is that, because this is the deep mountainous area, and in order to have this kind of facility, there are a lot of the combined forces that work together to make this happen. So this very modernized facility we just saw, they are actually a demonstration of a lot of people working together to make things work for the Yi people and for the locals to enjoy a better living. So this is also something that I'm very pleased to see. And without further illustration and introduction of the nearby village, I think I'll just end my live stream here, because I think it's already late for you guys. And also, I've also enjoyed very much for this live stream visiting this factory with you. All right, so tomorrow, me and the other colleagues from China Plus, we will be giving out a free English lesson to a nearby middle schools, and the students have already made plans to come over and to join us to do a learning trip in this middle school we're about to visit. So join us tomorrow, please. It's going to be a bonus live, and we'll be giving out a lot of the love and a lot of the fresh knowledge to the local kids. All right, so I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining us today, and have a great night. Bye.